Tributes are pouring in for the respected ABC presenter Mark Colvin, who died today after a long illness. Colvin was a distinguished foreign correspondent and the voice of the ABC radio current affairs program PM for 2 decades. He enthusiastically embraced the digital world and was a friend and mentor to generations of journalists. Mark Willacy looks back at his remarkable life and career.
Mark Colvin once said the job of a journalist was to ask difficult people awkward questions. For 40 years he lived up to that, whether it was interviewing politicians or investigating genocide.
I first covered an African famine 15 years ago, and since then I've seen quite a lot of death and disease, but I have never seen anything like the road we've just travelled.
You wanted to be like Mark because he was scholarly, he was wise, he was multilingual, he was well-read, he had a lot of skills that I didn't have, but beyond that he had a brilliant sense of humour.
Mark was a fantastic journalist. He had this great brain and he had this unquenchable curiosity.
Mark Colvin was born in London, the son of an MI6 spy. He came to Australia as a 21-year-old, armed with an Oxford University degree. Colvin drifted into journalism on the advice of a dole officer.
Just gone 6:30 on a chilly winter weekday morning.
He joined the ABC in 1974 after stints with the fledgling youth station Double J and the groundbreaking nationwide program. Colvin got what he called his big break. As a foreign correspondent based in London, he covered royal weddings, riots in Bristol, the hostage crisis in Iran, and the implosion of the Soviet Union.
There's a strong belief here that a war could begin because of a deliberate decision by the United States to invade Eastern Europe.
In 1994, he found himself reporting from the heart of genocide in Rwanda. It was there Colvin contracted a virus that would see him spend months in hospital.
It's no exaggeration that dear Mark, gave his life with Rwanda.
Complications from the disease and the drugs used to treat it would haunt Colvin for the rest of his life. But he rarely let this slow him down or get him down.
Good evening and welcome to PM. I'm Mark Colvin.
In 1997, he joined the PM program, and for 20 years, he was the man behind the microphone. Colvin always said he never wanted to be defined by his illness, but in recent years, it took its toll. And eventually, his kidneys failed and he needed a transplant, provided by a guest who became a friend.
Well, I didn't want him to die. I don't want anyone to die if they don't have to.
A gracious gift. It's the most gracious gift you can have, really.
He may have been an old-school journalist, but Mark Colvin keenly embraced new technology, becoming a much-followed user of Twitter. Today, when his death was announced, many paid tribute to him this way.
He brought with him a breath, perhaps romantically from this perspective, of a more measured, better read, less chaotic, less vindictive world of journalism where there was a truly objective, well-thought-out voice.
Over the years, Mark Colvin took many journalists under his wing, including me. He would never hesitate to help with tips about writing or an idea about an interview. In our last chat, he urged me to keep to his idea of good journalism by continuing to ask difficult people awkward questions. And today, a final message from a man, a journalist, who in his own words lived a fortunate life.